John, I was thinking about the other day, how many times growing up or whatever when we would hear like our aunts or uncles, the grandparents, when they say, I get a chava, I get a rumbugu, mi mano, they have to be bleeding. Bro, it always goes into my head. If you don't work with your hands, you don't work at all.
Isso este man is official.
Ste mani feminid.
I get a chava, I got a rumbugu.
But I guess that's a real old school thing now, right?
Because
so
what
much has
was it?
changed from
They
back
were
then.
all about union work. They were all about construction and all that other stuff. It
We're
basically,
growing up in a time though where there's barely union jobs anymore.
well, no, there's union jobs, but it's hard to get in. It's like you got to know like three people's uncle to get in. But it's not only that.
Not anymore. I don't
No,
think it's like that anymore.
no, because they stopped all that. I think with sanitation, I think was it the Italians or the Irish that had the sanitation on lock? Wow, on here, really?
Now he's running for business. He can't take care of business no more.
That's true. I don't know why that thought just popped in my head. It was funny as hell.
It's a good thought.
No, but back in the day, the population was Irish and Italian
And that
with
did all the
all the
labor.
union labor.
Right. But then think about it now. Like, even if you talk to people now, like, we all have some family members that go, if you don't go home with bloody hands, you didn't work today. It's like, how do you justify that?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but
Like the
now-
mentality back then was the hammer and the screwdriver, or else you weren't proven to be a family man.
Because back then, who used their brains in an office? Think about it. When they all came over here, they didn't have office work. So what work did they have? Bricklaying, uscimento, putting up carpentry, and that's it. That's all you had. Who was going to hire them?
I feel like the old school, I say old school, let's just say my father,
Yeah.
right? There was two sides of him. Go to work at Rumbotogulo or go to school. I didn't want to do neither one, so I was kind of stuck in the middle. I didn't know what to do.
So he started an OnlyFans.
Back then, it was called Hulu fans.
Yes. It was just funny, man. It's like, and some of them still think that way.
I just still don't get why the brick and mortar had to prove you're a man.
I know it was, yeah. No, well, because think about it, there's not a lot of women in the field. So they're like, that's what proved who you were as a family man, like you said, like a man to provide and do, because they didn't have any other options.
Yeah, but I'm sure there
Okay,
was.
but wait a minute. I got something to add to that. Okay.
Okay.
So
All right.
back then, there wasn't a lot of office jobs.
No, there
Or
was, but it wasn't for them.
Women doing that kind of stuff, right? Most were home,
Okay.
right? So who were doing those jobs?
No, it was the men. But the men were doing, if you're going into that space, a lot of men were working versus a lot of the women staying home with the family, which is fine.
100%.
But now that you have men and women in the same fields, I mean, the numbers aren't like, accurate like to each other. They're not, perpendicular. Then it's not like 50% male, 50% female, depending on what field you're in. But I'm saying back then, where our parents were immigrants, like they got here fresh 2-3 years, what office work are they going to do? They couldn't. So they had no choice. What else are they going to do? They had to lay down cement. They had to lay down brick. They had to be carpenters because that's all there was.
There's got to be something else.
But you didn't need to talk. Like those are professions. You don't need to talk. You just need to know what the job is.
That's right. So if you didn't speak English, if you knew how to lay a tile down,
You were golden. I don't know why this.
I guess that makes sense, right? I feel like a lot of the people who didn't speak English, regardless of where they came from,
exactly
were the people doing those kinds of jobs.
because
like our
why?
family.
It's just common sense of what needs to get done and processes and stuff. There was no spreadsheets. Are you fucking kidding me? Who has times for graphs?
There was no Excel back then.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but it did.
No, it's
was a
a
good
great
thought.
point. It's a great point.
Because it makes
But
me laugh.
now, how times has changed, right? I mean, now you can make money sitting and talking like we're doing. There's people who upload a picture on Facebook and Instagram making hundreds of $1,000s a post.
I know. I got them on my list.
He means
When
he
you
watches
think
those people.
Like, do you think our great grandparents would ever believe how people are making money today?
No way.
Dude, my grandparents, when they were alive, thought that was a shimonito at 13, bro. Can't imagine what they think of me now if they were still alive.
Dude, we still got family members
Yeah.
who won't believe
No.
that a desk job will pay more than working for a union.
No, they won't. They don't believe it.
They did. That's like so implanted
Because-
in their head.
Because why? In their head, they say, tu hai fare 100 anni, rumbidu manuzango, and then at the end, that's when you get your pension and your benefits and you're good. That's how you know you did it. But it's like, but if I could do the same thing, making probably twice as much, let's be honest, in some situations.
Depending on the profession.
Depending on the profession. Making double the amount, and I don't have to break my ass. Why is that such a bad thing? You know what that makes me feel? That you're just upset. That you're upset that we
That they
can
didn't
do
get that
that,
opportunity?
and you couldn't do it at that time. Now, I don't want to say
But
jealousy.
that opportunity never existed when they were
No,
here.
I know that, but I don't want to think of it like a jealousy thing either. Like, you think that there's
But I have a better question
like an
to
envy?
compare.
All right.
Does that make them more of a man than people today?
Does make what more of a man? Who?
The guy who busted their ass for 30 years.
When a guy busts his ass for 30 years and then you look at him at the end of his career and what he's doing, and he can't walk right, he can't hold the
He's
fork
beat up.
correctly,
I get it. You know,
he's all fucked.
I get it.
So what did you gain?
But that's what I'm saying. My
lost your life.
question is, I know there's people today
Yes.
that would say, you don't know the meaning of work. You don't know what it means to be on your knees.
Right.
Or
Well, let's phrase that because we're putting down tile. All right, let's not get that confused.
you always got a Gigi de Desta.
Bro, but that's what it is. Bana!
But what I was trying to say is that
Yeah.
does that really make you more of a man than
No.
an average person?
I don't
today?
think that there's any level of manliness. I think there's just you can do what you can do. If you're good at laying brick, if you're good at putting tile, if you're good at coordinating and all this other
True.
stuff that's office
there's
work.
so many women that work union jobs in the street right now and sanitation. It's not like
But that's what.
It's not
But
like how it
things are
used to be.
different now. But we're just focusing on like the older. Let's just
Yeah.
say family members or older people in the like friends of the family. Like Frank said, a lot of times they just turn around and they go, well, you never picked up a hammer and worked it for 30 years. You don't know what it means to work. It's like because
well, I would say there are people my age who literally don't know how to use a screwdriver.
no, and 100%, and then that becomes a struggle of life. You got to know how to do a little bit of everything, bro. That's the way I look at
Yeah.
it. I'm not saying you got to be perfect at that. What is it called? The jack of all trades, master of none. Just do a little bit of everything. Look it up.
AKA jerk off.
You know what's weird? I feel like the
Shoemaker.
people who don't even know how to use a screwdriver or a drill or hang a picture frame or a TV, those people for some reason always make a shit ton of money.
Because they're good technically.
They,
That's why. They're no good for anything else. In an emergency, like you said, hanging up a picture, they get confused. But sitting behind the computer, I guarantee they'll put spins
I
on
think like we're also now growing to a different generation, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I work with another new generation, right? And some of those people that are actually younger than me could be above me, right? And you hear their way of processing stuff sometimes.
And then let me ask you this. You hear it. Do you think the way that the older people that you used to work with think, like, oh, these idiots don't know nothing? Or do you thinking, what, let's adapt to the new
I'm definitely
way?
that guy because I'm like, what a dumb thing to do.
So you haven't heard, let's just say an example, like a theory. You've never heard a decent idea from one of these new generation that you have on your job that you've listened to their ideas and you thought they were all merda, or did you actually sit there and go, actually that might work? Like, are you willing to adapt is my question.
I don't know how to, like, I would never consider anyone a dummy.
No, I mean, I do, but that's fine. I get it.
What I'm trying to say is the way the work ethics are
Yes.
changing again.
Yes, work ethics is a
So
different
like
story.
how we just compared our, you know what I'm saying? Now it's like,
Yes.
so here's something that someone once told me. Again, a younger person
Yeah.
that actually is, in a higher seat than I would be, right?
Right.
And I'm the type of guy, like, I could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I just need to be shown and do it once myself to understand it. And then I'm going to run with
You're
it.
the guy who says, make it make sense.
As long as it makes sense and I know how it's physically done,
Right.
you got it.
So so I'm saying you're willing to adapt to that new idea of something that you probably wouldn't have done. You're willing to adapt.
Right.
The older gen that we know won't.
they don't do
Right.
that.
But now the younger gen says, I just need to know the process. I don't need to know how it really works.
Because then they can figure it out on their own.
But how do you make a process?
Because all you have to understand is the process. See, I did that at my job. At my place,
See,
here's the thing. No one taught me regulation. They just taught me this is what needs to get done. I figured out how to get to point A to B on my own. And that's when I started figuring out. Now I'm cutting processes in half where it's like, well, can we do this? And then everyone goes, yeah, why didn't we do it that way? It's like, aha, because they don't think about it.
See, I see it as if something goes down, right?
Sure, go ahead.
And someone says, hey, whatever may have happened,
Yeah.
I need this done. I know how to physically do it.
Step by step.
Right.
But if you got a guy who says, I can cut step 2 to 6 to get to 7.
I'm not talking about cuts 2 to 6, 2 to 7. I'm just saying the new generation is more like, I don't need to know how to do it. I just need to know the process. But then when you go to that person who knows the process, like, listen, we have a problem. I need you to do it.
Then this
I don't know how to do it. I just know the process. How does that make sense?
I get you.
You
It
understand what I'm
doesn't
saying?
make sense.
Because they're looking at their goal is finished product, not how to get to finished product.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like someone said that to me once. Because I don't need to know. I just need to know the flow.
Yeah.
And then that one day came where we need you to do the flow for whatever reason that was,
And they
and you
stood there.
didn't know how to do the flow.
Right.
So how you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Dude, I have somebody at work, and he's pretty high up, and he once said to me, before you come to me with the problem, have the solution. I'm like, but if
I
I'm
hate that term.
I hate it too. I'm going to you for a problem because you have the experience and maybe you know how to. Because if I have the solution, I don't need to go to you at all.
No. When I say I hate that term, actually I hate what you just said.
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to bring me problems for me to
Yes.
figure out.
But if I'm having a genuine problem, like, yo, I can't figure this out. I need assistance with
Right.
this because you have experience and you're higher up than me.
That's
and all
fine.
this other stuff. Don't come to me and say, well, don't come to me with the problem if you don't have the solution. But if I don't have a solution, what would you like me to do?
But you got to come with me with a plan or an idea. Don't just tell me, oops, I don't know.
No, not oops.
I
like,
have
hey, listen.
never ever went to my boss with the problem without telling him how I'm figuring it out.
Okay.
Or else it makes me look bad.
Well, if it's a complex,
that's why they hired me.
Hold on. If it's a complex problem, that's not just as simple as putting 2 blocks together or whatever it is, where it's an actual issue, where it comes down to process problems, where it comes to anything, maybe a financial issue, maybe there's something that was out of your control. These are people who have experience, and that's why they're getting paid the 6 figures that they're getting freaking paid.
You're seeing it wrong.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
Okay. I mean, because that's
If my employee, if
if
my employee comes to me and just says, I can't figure this out, I need help.
yeah,
Okay.
you're not going to help them.
Show me what you're doing.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. They're willing to show
Like,
you.
show me what your solution, your brain was. Like, give me something to run with. Like, don't make me just figure it out because then it's my project. It's not yours. And that's why I hired you. Like, that's how I see it.
Okay.
So if guys constantly dump problems on my desk that they don't want to figure
Well,
out,
let's just say you have a guy who's not constantly. I'm talking about like this once in a blue moon where this is a kind of an issue that you're just looking at it like, damn, like I don't expect him to actually know how to figure this out. Like, would you expect him to still have a solution to that?
look, I'll give him guidance, but I'm not the one figuring it out for him.
Right.
But if someone brings me a platform of what they're doing, I'm all in.
Okay.
But don't expect me to do your project. To me,
No, it's not about doing a project.
that's not good.
That's taking on the whole thing. I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about a hiccup in the road. That's it. A hiccup in the road that this person just can't figure out.
Right. I was mostly saying,
Like, I wouldn't expect somebody to dump the whole damn thing. Like, here, this is your bullshit now.
I've had someone in the past where like I couldn't figure it out, so I didn't do it.
No, see, that's ridiculous.
Or
that's
hey,
just
you got to figure this out because I don't know how to do it.
I think if your process is flawless, you should never have a hiccup.
Right. But sometimes new process needed to be made, which is going back to what we said. Are you willing to adapt to new processes from these?
I am. I also stress test the shit out.
I try to break it.
No, I mean that's a good test to know if things can get
Yeah.
done better. Is trying to break the
Yeah.
process. Really,
Yeah.
you figure out new things, and especially with all the new stuff that comes out every day.
Yeah. No, that's true.
You get AI. It's insane.
You see what they've been doing?
I think if our great grandparents came back and just saw that, they'll roll over.
You never know, bro. AI might bring them back for us.
It's
Bro,
crazy.
I see AI. You can upload an image to this artificial intelligence program, and it'll move the photo.
Yes,
as
I
if
seen that. He looks
this
like
is
he's
what was
alive again.
happening during that time. I'm like, oh my god, that's
Or it's
crazy.
like a layover, like you see somebody dancing and then you see like both Biden and Trump dancing with each other. Just like
Yeah.
I've seen stuff like that all over the place.
It
I'm
looks
like,
perfect.
well,
Yeah,
they do
it's-
where the clothes always change, but like they're getting disgustingly close.
But it's gonna come to a point
you can't tell.
where you're not gonna know the difference or what you're looking at is real or not.
Right.
And that's kind of scary because sooner or later, someone will replicate us saying things we're not saying, doing exactly what we're doing.
There
right now.
was listen to this. There was a clip sent to me once. It was completely AI, completely fake. They took an audio clip to make it sound like Joe Rogan was talking about these chimpanzees. It was going on for like 5 minutes. No break in the speech, no differential in the volume, or it was like he was talking about this ridiculous stuff. Yeah, you know the chimpanzees, you know they put on these hockey gear and you know
Oh,
they
like
really go
the way I faked you with the voicemail.
Right, exactly. And I was just like, what the yo, they got it down. It's scary, bro. It's all you got to do is feed it a script.
Not even that because AI can write the script for you.
Oh yeah, like yeah, no, 100%.
When does it stop?
It won't. It can't. Because once you already started AI, it's all about self-awareness. It's about self-awareness. It's about writing its own kind of like its own JavaScript, its own, its own stuff. You can't stop that. It's always learning.
Yeah, they say this AI stuff is very great for us, but it's very dangerous.
Yeah. And
And it's scary.
they're saying they're always talking about if AI is self-aware. Are they aware that they are,
I read an article now that ChatGPT
yeah.
will actually reach out to you first.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
How was that project you worked on yesterday?
How does it know I worked on a project?
There are people who are complaining that because I guess they were writing to them at one point.
Yeah.
Now ChatGPT a couple days later was like, "Hey, how was that project?"
Because
you were
it's like,
working on the
hey,
other day?"
I'm writing a paper, and then it's like, what'd you get? What did I get on it? Did I get an A?
Did I do good? Did I do good?
You're
sir?
having a bowel movement in 3.
Yeah, right? Imagine it gets to that point.
Look how cool this is. Hey Siri, make me an espresso. Look at the machine. Huh? No, you can't see it, G.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell are you talking? It's not happening. What the hell are you talking about?
I know.
Oh, shut up, man. You actually
Oh
had me
my
looking like an
God.
idiot.
Yeah, we could have fooled all the audience.
Hey!
The fact that I don't have my phone near me and he was actually looking at my machine.
Yeah,
over
I'm
there.
like, first of all, I didn't even hear Siri go off saying, yes, sir. I didn't hear anything.
So some current events that's happened. This won't air until a couple of weeks, but I kind of want to dedicate a little bit of a thank you to Toto Scalacci. He was born in Palermo in the early '60s. He's passed. If you guys haven't heard, he had a great run. He went from being an average player to being a big surprise athlete for the 1990 FIFA soccer. Watching him, and I remember as a child watching him run side by side with Roberto Baggio. So hearing about his passing, it was kind of sad.
Yeah.
It was kind of sad. Icon, 59 years old. He was young.
How did he die?
Apparently, I think it was cancer, colon cancer. Yeah.
Wait, wasn't he in remission and then it came back?
I didn't even know he was in anything. He
you didn't even know he was sick.
for me, it was a shock, and I'm kind of embarrassed because I love soccer. Like I didn't even hear about this until I woke up that morning. I'm like, holy crap, could that be real?
Listen, they're all
Couple
going little by little.
Going back to that 1990 game, although we were eliminated, I think it was the semifinals.
Third place.
Because I was watching videos all day today of the 1990 semifinals, and but he scored 6 goals in the semifinals.
He did it. He hit a record.
Wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
pretty impressive.
I had no idea.
Yeah, he did a record. That's when he, in 1990, he was able to bring. He was a big help to the team, and I'll say him and Baggio together, it was third place. So
Here's a quick stat:
Where did he rank?
384 matches, 159 goals.
So what would you think he'd be ranked at with the players of today?
I feel like today things change. With the when you compare Ronaldo to
like a
but back
ballpark.
then, he was like the Ronaldo.
Oh, he was.
He had his moments. He had his star moments, but I personally still think Baggio was always above top. That was his time.
Okay.
But he came out of nowhere and just for 1990 was he shined like a star. You know, I was 6 years old. And that's when I started getting into it. So when the World Cup came to the U.S. in '94, I was all about it. And then I remember I was so upset because my uncle, my grandfather, my father,
right?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
They left me home.
They left me home.
They left me home, and they had tickets to the final.
Wow.
At the Giant Stadium, you know, which was Giant Stadium back then.
Yeah.
And I remember my grandmother made like a 30, 40-foot silk flag that covered an entire car because my uncle had front balcony seats. So so I was always jealous of missing that. So I told my wife.
They did the, ora vengo, sto dove.
Yeah, they left me home. I was so heartbroken. They did one of those things.
But why'd they do that?
I was young. Look, back then, soccer games are not that serious here, right?
Right.
Honestly, it's not like you go see a football game. Sometimes you have fight breakout, you know, but it's rare. You know, people get drunk or whatever. But soccer games, some people are freaking ruthless.
In England, they give each other testone. Like, you ever seen that?
They're ruthless.
Yeah.
They'll stampede you, like whatever it is. You know,
I was scared for that.
It wasn't a thing for taking kids to a game. I'll be honest with you, my uncle took me to regular soccer games all the time when I was young.
Yeah.
To see, back then it was the Metro Stars.
Oh, the New York teams.
I can't tell you, every time he took me, I fucking fell. Because people were rushing, people were pushing.
Really?
And I was small and I would always fall. So my uncle's thing to me was, tu ci può venire, but se cade della suringa. Because I would always fall. You know, but going back to it, they're coming back for 26. And I told my wife, be ready, babe.
Yeah?
Marcus,
I'm
what's
going.
with that face? Like, you didn't know that?
I didn't.
Wow.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right, I want to get to that.
Get to
I'm gonna
what?
get
To you.
well, you're the only person on the planet who doesn't know that FIFA is being played here for the World Cup.
I'm
But-
probably not the only person on the planet, but thank you,
We'll
judge of the
educate
world.
people.
Look, I would understand if FIFA was being played, but the fact that you know they're coming back home. Here. Jersey. Go ahead, G.
Anyway,
move
colon
on.
cancer.
Yeah, what about it?
So, just to stress, it's important to get your prostate checked.
I know. Every time when I go to Florida, you make you check it for me.
So I think they lowered the age of prostate exams too. It's like late 30s now.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Marcus goes
not-
weekly because they're free for him. He enjoys
Yeah.
it.
I just show up. I go to anywhere, dentist, doctor, anywhere. They just check it.
Come here, doc. Put your hands on my shoulders. Let's get going.
I can see Marcus. Hey, Doc, last time you used 2 fingers, you better make it 3. Just
I
in
prepped
case.
before I got here. But another current event thing. Well, it's not really current. So
Wait,
you guys.
wait. I got a point to finish. So FIFA's coming here
okay.
in
I'm sorry.
26. Okay, we're gonna have the World Cup. They're coming here to Florida too.
Yep.
They're going to be in Jersey. They're going to play Canada. They're going to play New Mexico. Frank, are you planning on going?
I
Marco,
am going.
You didn't even know they were coming.
You know what it is? Like, people say when the World Cup is hosted in your country, there's a chance you might not see it happen for another 100 years.
Okay.
The fact that it's coming back here, it's probably the last one I'll see.
Well,
So, and you know what I'm saying? And
Maybe. I mean, who knows?
listen, if I'm going to be 70 years old and they're playing here, I ain't going nowhere.
You think so? You never know.
I'll probably
So,
be there.
Here's the weird part about it. It's like when they come and play to the stadium nearest to you, you don't know who's playing at that point. Like, do you want to go see a country? I mean, I'm sure it's watching it, but most people that want to go see the game is because you're going to see your country.
The thing is, when they come out, you're taking a chance. But I'll be honest with you, I love soccer. I have a passion for soccer so much. I wouldn't care. Let's say if Italy got tossed out and then the final is Brazil and France.
You still would watch
I
it.
would still enjoy it because the art. All these players are all-star players.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get to see them in action like that. Like I call the skill an art. Like a lot of people can't do that stuff.
Right.
You know, so
Here's
for me,
another question.
I'll go.
How much you think a ticket's going to cost?
I guess we'll find out.
Second mortgage.
I'm gonna have to sell the studio.
I'm about to find out. But
Why? They have ticket sales up right now?
I think
No,
July
not
of
yet.
next year they start.
We'll live.
it says opening match is actually not that bad. It's going to be $55 to $618 a person.
Probably
Then it
sitting up
goes
in
from
heaven.
group play to round 16 to quarterfinals. Finals is $206 all the way up to $1,600 for the final match, which
Where
is supposed to be. Well, it doesn't say where the final one is, but it just says it's supposed to be Jersey, Canada, and New Mexico.
if you don't mind, just do a check real quick. Where is the final game? Because I remember
Do you think they have that yet?
they announced it, yeah. Because in '94, they announced it was here in New York and New Jersey. That's where they played it. They usually announce where the main.
MetLife.
There you go. It's in New Jersey.
That's awesome.
So if Italy makes it to the finals, you have a great
flying
shot.
down.
I'm not coming home that night. I'll just be circling.
I mean, Italy played there for a friendly game not too long ago.
Right.
Yeah,
I went to the friendly game over here.
Yeah, they came there
literally the day
first,
before. It was
and then they
incredible.
came here. Yep.
It was great. I've been to 3 soccer games in my life, I think. And I love it every time. It's incredible. I took my wife there. She had a ball. It was incredible.
Why do you think soccer is not so popular in the U.S.?
Because it is getting more popular.
It is.
It is.
But there's too many American-based sports that overtake it. Football, baseball, basketball. These are all the first line American sports that we watch. That's what it is. Boxing, MMA. That's all there. Soccer is the oldest sport, but remember, people don't really watch that.
You also got to think
here.
of it the other way around too, though, Frank, because like football is not huge over there.
Right.
Rugby is not huge over there. Golf is not huge over there.
Rugby is a very big European
Sorry,
sport.
I didn't mean.
Take
rugby.
it back.
I think it started over there, but like football is not big over there. Neither is baseball.
American
I'm sure they
football.
have those sports there,
They play it.
but it's not like that.
Like baseball is played everywhere, but really, like they always focus on the major
I
leagues
think
here.
baseball's big in China,
Japan,
and Puerto
Japan's
Rico,
big.
right?
Baseball
In all the Spanish countries too. Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, anywhere. Honestly, Cuba, big in Cuba. It's baseball is big for a lot of the.
So when you put all these sports together, right, when it comes to gambling or money makers or all that stuff, soccer is number one.
Still, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, when you hear about football and the money it generates either on gambling or on whatever they do here in the U.S., and I think England too is pretty big now. Soccer dominates.
Of course it does.
And then when they do World Cups,
Oh yeah,
it feeds the country, man.
it does.
I think
Well,
it does
are you talking
too.
about the stadiums?
It feeds.
But here's the problem. So I've actually like looked into it. There was a bunch of videos, a lot of documentary stuff. Yes, the building of the stadium helps temporarily, but then they get abandoned and the whole area around suffers for it. It's
No.
like look it up, dude. It's never
MetLife Stadium is always active.
that's MetLife Stadium. I'm talking about like when they do like the Olympic stadiums, when they build them like Beijing, like and all those other places.
That's their problem.
And I'm talking about like when they do special events that they build a stadium for it. Bro, that whole area turns to total shit after it.
I think the last World Cup, if I'm not mistaken, I think they built temporary stadiums, and that
Yeah,
it was
most
down like the
countries
next
do
day.
that.
Like that's how fast it was.
I don't know.
Yeah, most countries do that.
Yeah. But it always
But I do want to say though, every time I feel like soccer's rare here because it's every 2 years there's a big cup happening, or every 4 years for the World Cup. And I just feel like there's probably not enough happening as often as there's football every Sunday for the next 6 months. You know what I mean? Like soccer
Because
is
that's
very
not the focus
rare
here.
sport.
That's why.
But when soccer does happen, I feel like that's all everybody talks about.
Yeah,
So
it becomes
I wouldn't
an event.
say it's the most unpopular because I feel like when it's on, I feel like that's all I hear.
Well, it's plain and simple. Frankie, he'll watch the games, the basketball games, but not the regular season games. He'll watch the tournament, and then that's it. He won't sit there and follow the season.
No, I don't follow none of
That's what I'm
seasons.
saying. But then when the tournaments come and then the playoffs, you'll watch.
Look, for the American sports, I watch hockey. Yes, basketball. Yes,
Like
baseball.
hockey,
yes,
that's another one I can't watch.
football. Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't care about now. Like honestly, that doesn't like I don't need to follow it.
Right.
For some reason, if they make the playoffs, I feel like now for some reason because there's attraction and heat on it, I start to watch it. I mean, that's probably a poor way to follow a sport, but
It is, but you're just watching it to like you don't have like you're not rooting for any kind of special team. You just want to watch the games because they're fighting.
when you have money involved.
Oh, it's a little different story when you got a pool
Marcus.
going.
What Marcus is doing, he's calling you a follower, not a leader.
You're a sheep. Anywho,
I've been watching another sport I've actually just gotten into recently. Like Frank said, is hockey
I can't
because
get into it.
it's so similar to soccer.
It is.
believe it or
I
not.
just can't get into
It's
hockey
not-
though.
It's not like baseball. It's obviously nothing's like baseball. Baseball's boring. Basketball, you're getting a shot in every 2 seconds. Like hockey and soccer is like the two sports where it's a rare goal and you're working for it.
See, that's the thing. Like, it's either you appreciate what they're doing, or I know people be like, "Oh, it's fucking boring."
But it's
They just
constant
run
movement.
around. But that's what I'm saying. If out of all these sports, my opinion, soccer deserves more
Yeah.
of what it is because they're running nonstop for 90 minutes. If there's a foul, 1 minute. Football, every foul, 2 minutes. Every break, commercial break, 2 minutes. Same shit with every sport. There's always like something. You know, always. I think hockey's the closest one. 13 minutes nonstop unless there's a foul. But soccer is literally nonstop. People are fucking dying on the field.
Yeah.
Their hearts just stop
I've seen the video of that.
from running, not from colliding and all this other.
They'll just stand there after running and stop and
I
they'll just
physically
drop.
saw there was a World Cup game with Denmark, and the player was from Inter because he played in an Italian league. I was watching it. I swear to God, my wife went to Stop and Shop. I was in the car watching it on my phone because I don't want to miss a game. You physically see this guy collapse. I was like, "Look, what happened here?" To learn later on, his heart stopped, but thankfully he made it.
He lived?
He lived. They were working him for like 45 minutes.
I know which one I'm talking. Like I thought that we were talking about the same one. There's another player. They called him. They said that he was the smiling player. He smiled like he was running. Whatever. He stopped, smiled like he was happy, and he dropped right there. He had a brain aneurysm, and he dropped dead right on the field right then and there.
Wow.
And they said that the last thing you saw on camera, and you could look it up, he was smiling like happy and just like that.
Wow. He's like, finally.
Yeah, right. Oh, God.
I think they need to make.
In other news, there's a storm Boris that hit Central Florida, Central Italy, and
Get Florida off the brain, bro.
over 1,000 people were evacuated, and I think like 5 people died so far. I know by the time this comes out, it's going to be a week old or two, but
Was that the
my que-
floods I saw?
Yeah,
yeah,
They call it
Yeah.
Boris.
Boris.
It was a hurricane.
storm Boris.
Yeah, I think
It
so.
was they said like enough rain came down for 3 hours to completely cover homes.
What?
They don't have those very often, right?
And what's crazy is that same area. I have it written down here actually. Emilia Romagna region in Italy,
Yeah, that's northern
and
Italy.
it was hit.
Yeah.
That exact spot was devastated flooding in May of 2023. So exactly a year later, well, just about happened again,
So
which is crazy.
so it happens. It's almost predicted at this point. Then
Well, it's only happened once before, so I
which
wouldn't
was
say
last
predicted.
year.
So the
last year.
rains went 1-2 stories above their homes, so wiped out the
Guess
whole
so.
city.
Yeah, people were being told to evacuate, and the people who didn't evacuate got stuck on their roof, and some people died and some people didn't. So anyway, my question to you is, what do you think? I mean, these homes are old.
Yeah, they're all
You know,
mortar.
you're thinking of these old school towns. What do you think these houses are made of back then?
They're mortar.
They're brick and concrete.
No,
bro.
not even brick. They're just mortar.
Everybody's union over there.
Yeah, everyone's union. No, they're mortar. It's all mortar. It's strong stuff for a while, but then if you have a house that's like
Over 100
pushing,
years old.
yeah, that's pushing over 100 years, you could punch right through it. Like it really depends, man. What they have those the clay tile clay tile.
So maybe the old
roofing.
houses. I don't think they still do that with the new ones.
So when my dad was building the apartment complex out in Castellamare, he actually had to fight with the town for a little bit because they were annoyed that what he was trying to build didn't look like the rest of the houses. My house sticks out from all the other ones around. So he hired the architects to design. He said, hey, do your thing. You
He
guys
built a Long Island home and
basically, honestly, yeah. Because he's using material that they weren't using. Like he was using, like cinder blocks normally would be like $1 or $2 a cinder block, right? The cinder blocks that he was using had insulation. They were €8.
all those new big bulky
Yeah,
ones.
dude, they were like €8 per block, bro. Like, and the town kind of like wanted to fight him on it because he is now changing the aesthetic of the home to be completely different than the rest of the homes. It doesn't look like that rustic look. And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Is that my property or is it yours?" They go, "No, it's yours." They go, "Okay, shut up." And then he ended up doing what he wanted to do.
That town has a right to shut him down.
But they didn't.
It's like here. Like I
Right.
can't decide to build a third floor.
You can't decide to build. Well,
Certain areas you could. Certain areas you're not.
you could. But then again, how many times have you seen somebody buy 2 pieces of property next to each other and they make one house completely thrown off the block?
You can't do that either.
Yes, you can.
Not here.
There's a
No,
few
you
places that you could do that.
There's certain areas, but there's
I
certain
mean, I'm
areas
sure
you're
you
not
upstate
allowed.
you can do whatever you want.
that's what I'm saying.
You're
If-
talking
if
in
I'm
the
talking
middle
about
of
metropolitan
the boroughs. You can't
areas,
do
dude.
If they wanted to shut your father down, they would have shut him down.
They wanted to. But I don't know how the process was. He basically said, "You're not touching." But yeah, no. That's what it is. So those old homes, because that's what originally was on that property. It was un magazzino. It was like made of just like the rock and mortar and stuff, and it was like an old pizza, like bread oven in there. That all got torn up like nothing because it's so friggin' old. So now when you have rushing water hitting these damn homes, it's like goes away like dust.
I feel like the people who live in these towns, they're all probably older generation people. So it kind of sucks to think
Well,
about
no,
these. They're like 70, 80-year-old people. I don't know. I don't see mountain for one where we grew up.
right.
Gastalamada. You don't see 20-year-olds. I mean, I'm sure there is.
Well,
but
listen, they all live
that's
under
not
one
where the
roof.
majority of the youth population is.
No, because they go into more of the metropolitan areas like Milano, and they go into Roma. They go away from the countryside, from like places where I'm from, places where you're from. They don't stick around often. My cousins, look what they did. They got up, they went to France for a little bit, worked there, then they went over to Australia. They worked there for a little bit, then they came back home. But the end point, they weren't thinking about coming back home. They just did. But they had no intentions of coming back home. And if they did, they weren't going to stay in Castellammare, which, even though it's nice, but they would go to the more metro areas, the more places, like you said, where there's younger generations living now. Things are not as tight.
So did you also hear? I guess Sicily's getting more popular.
It is.
There was a flight, I think it was United, that now offers from here to Sicily direct.
But how is it a time frame? Like,
They used to do it in waves. Now it's
it's constant now?
and
consistent.
now they just announced Delta is jumping on the bandwagon starting of 2025. I think it's March. They're doing the same thing: direct flights to Catania, direct flights
To Catania and Palermo and all that?
Yep. So
That's
now
dope.
it kind of you get there quicker because you're not overlaying somewhere in Rome or Milan just to fly.
Right.
To fly
But not
down.
only that, though, but I thought they would also... Now, tell me if I'm wrong, if anyone else heard this. Speaking of airplanes, weren't they supposed to bring back the Concorde? I heard that you were...
Yeah, I heard it too.
I heard that years ago, but then I heard
Recently.
We're kind of past the Concorde phase because the things we can build now
But how
would make that look slow.
But it doesn't make sense because the Concorde right now, let's just say if we were to take off from New York, you can make it in London in 4 hours.
less.
Or less than 4 hours. So how... But the way we're flying now, we're not doing that.
Well, the Concorde hasn't flown in years.
No, they recently did
they
it.
stopped the Concorde originally for 2 issues.
I don't think
They've
they're
had
calling it the
multiple
Concorde,
accidents.
though.
Had they multiple accidents?
I think it was 1 or 2.
Yeah, that's why they stopped it.
And the sound in certain towns were like actually destroying.
Like sonic booming.
It was destroying their windows and stuff. Yeah. But,
That's awesome.
But yeah, I heard that too. They're looking to make a comeback.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna go to Sicily. But I'm just saying. But yeah, it was like a 3.5 or 3 hours to England.
To England, yeah.
Literally, you could call it, be there for dinner.
It says they retired it because of cost. It was way too expensive. The noise, sonic boom, safety. A couple of Concords crashed shortly after takeoff, killing almost over 109 people in just 2000. And maintenance. But I'm understanding they're reinventing the idea of the Concorde.
Isn't that
probably
what
you're
that
talking
was?
about.
That the recent thing that they're trying to
Yeah.
remake it so it's like effective?
Yeah, it's not called
Yeah, I mean,
Concorde.
I can make it to New York in like 20 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
That'd be sick.
So you're coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's not a Concorde. It's called UFO.
But-
Unidentified flying object.
Yes.
Can you imagine the ticket prices on those?
It would be worth the money. I would pay it.
No,
No, I would
because
100% pay it.
a ticket price now. What's the average? I'm not going to say high time, low time.
1,000,
What's the
1,100?
average between from here to Italy?
1,100 maybe.
No, it's changed.
1100.
They're cheaper now.
What do you mean they're cheaper now?
They're cheaper now. Every time. So I feel like when my father-in-law used to go to Italy every year,
It was like 1,000.
it was like 1,000, 1,100, 1,300. We
Right.
didn't get a good price and used to get it.
yeah.
Now, lately, I've been hearing 500, 600, 700.
Shut up, for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy because
I
I
might be
almost
going
spent
back.
300 to come over there.
You could have just went to Italy. We'll meet you there.
Yeah,
So I think if enough people jump in the bandwagon,
Yeah.
they lower the prices.
Maybe. And then the plus, I'm pretty sure they're still reeling in from COVID because they lost a shit ton of money.
Oh, they took advantage of you too, though.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And go to Florida, $19,000.
nobody was
was
flying. But
flying.
when he did fly,
Right.
you pay for the entire fuel.
You know what was interesting about COVID? There's a map online that somebody at my job showed me. It was it showed you the pollution noise,
Right.
how much pollution there is in the world,
Yeah.
and you saw it before COVID and after COVID. It was like there was none left. There was none
Yeah.
since everybody shut down. It was
Same thing with the water pollution. People were seeing dolphins in places that they didn't belong, bro, because there was nothing in the water.
dirty bastard.
And then we started taking the shit in the water again. That's it. They left. But speaking of
How
water,
much you think ticket prices were back in the day when people were smoking on airplanes?
I don't
they
know.
were smoking on airplanes, and they have like full course dinners and shit. I've
And
seen
they
the
still
pictures.
have the no smoking sign for some reason. Like people are gonna start
Yeah,
smoking.
you people would start smoking. But
But I wonder how much ticket prices were back then. I mean, think about it. Back then, you didn't have to.
bro,
if you didn't
that's
wear a
like,
suit when you
It
got
was
on a
probably
plane.
cheaper because people made less money.
bro,
if you
but that's
think
like
about
even
it.
saying house prices. I could have got a 2-family home for 30
What-
grand. Like,
what
what
year
are
was
you
that?
trying to get at?
What
It's
year
like-
were we
That's what I'm
smoking
saying.
on
It was
planes?
probably $500, but $500 then is like
But that's what I'm saying.
$2,000
So if
today.
you want to do the equivalents, then you have to like do the math on it, like for the inflation and all that other nonsense.
What year were we smoking on planes?
70s?
Was
Yeah.
I? No, I.
You
No,
weren't
it's
born
gotta be
yet.
Later than that.
No, you weren't born yet, dude.
Look, when I was young and I went to Chicago, there was no smoking in planes already.
Exactly.
And I think
Okay, I definitely was born yet. It says here, smoking was permitted on airplanes until the late 1990s when the ban was put in place.
I don't remember that because they always told us
Because I
never
even
to
remember
smoke.
the ban that they stopped.
Yes, Bloomberg banned
that they
on
stopped.
the bars.
You can't smoke in bars or
Yeah.
businesses.
I still remember that. Restaurants or nothing.
I remember going to weddings and parties and you saw just ashtrays.
It smelled like ass. All
Just
over the
ashtrays.
place.
Now they get mad when half the party's outside smoking and nobody's inside.
Funny. So anyway, back in August 19th, did you guys see that super yacht that sank? The unsinkable super yacht
But didn't that sink because of a tornado?
water spout. It was it's still
First of all,
inconclusive.
go back and elaborate for people who don't know, like me.
What?
What do you mean unsinkable but sank?
They said that it was unsinkable, like that this yacht couldn't sink no matter what.
Rich people money.
Rich people money. That's why they called it a super yacht, and it was off the coast of Sicily. In fact, I think it was off the coast.
I thought it was a tornado
So it's called a water spout. A water spout is a tornado
on water.
on water, but
It's not as powerful.
no, it's powerful.
I heard it gets powerful on land.
If it moves onto land, yes. But the thing is with this, when you have this thing called a unsinkable super yacht that's not supposed to sink, and it does, there's a problem here. 5 people died, and they're still doing the investigation. So apparently,
Did anybody survive it?
yes,
Jack
crew
and
members
Rose.
survived it. I think about like, what was it, like 15 or 16 crew members survived it, including the captain.
Supposed to die with
The
the
workers.
ship.
So now the investigation is going. And by the way, the captain of that ship, he was a New Zealand captain. His name, I can tell you right now, is James Cutfield, 51. And I think his daughter was on there as well. And they made it, but there was like five. The five who died were like really big people. We're talking about like Iranian diplomat. We're talking about someone from that Russian type of military. The MK. Oh no, that's English, right? English is like MK. The M12, something like that. MK12. There was five of them, really big. They even brought documents with them, and they were like, "Oh, well, give it to us." And they're like, "No. They brought it on their own private like hard drives, and they were locked away." This thing sank 160 feet of water. It went down. Then it was just insane. The people on the side of the coast were like, "Oh, it was a water spout," but now they're blaming the crew.
Sounds like
the captain.
Sounds like a hit to me.
Bro, they were sleeping. It happened while they were sleeping. It was anchored. And this shit happened.
Oh, it wasn't moving? It was anchored?
It was anchored.
And
Did Rose survive?
Rose Jack!
All right. So I've heard the term before. Frank brought it up.
What?
Like the captain's supposed to go down with the boat.
Yeah,
Now,
the captain goes down with the ship.
is that a legitimate thing?
fuck that.
Or
I'll
is
be
he
running out
supposed
of
to be
there.
the person to,
It's
is he
so
supposed to be the person to just make sure it doesn't go down? He's supposed to stay on there until he can't no more.
well. Yes, it's like an extreme. It's like everyone is supposed to live. You know, the captain is not supposed to stay on there. Like, oh, everyone's gone. Okay, well, I'm just gonna sit now. No, he can go too. But then it always goes. Then if
Right,
the
but it
captain
sounds
lives,
like-
huh?
Oh yeah, I was about to say.
If the captain
it
lives,
sounds like he got
well,
out.
take a look at this. He's now under investigation heavily, and so are the crew members. What went wrong? If there was this water spout, this water tornado, and it was anchored, why didn't anyone move? Why was nobody alerted? That's the responsibility of the crew. You're supposed to take shifts.
Yeah, but also
What?
a water spout,
What-
Yeah,
a
but
tornado just fucking happens.
that's the problem. Where did it form? Did it form right on top of the damn ship? Yes, it was a heavy storm at the time. But you're still supposed to have crew members awake, alert
Okay.
for these things. And everybody was out. The whole
Okay,
thing
but
turned over.
We living in 2024.
Yeah.
There are radars. There are things that you can communicate with that if something's happening that they have to alert someone.
Well,
Like when I cruise all the time, and I'm not comparing what's going on to me
Yeah.
cruising, right? But like they know where a storm is. So we'll go way off path to go nowhere near it just to go around this massive storm and come
Right.
back around.
right.
So like there are radars that show you what's going on, what's coming, who to communicate to.
So you
Like,
agree
so
that it's a crew
are you-
problem.
Right. Someone wasn't alerted. So are you
Right.
saying that this was
That nobody
planned?
was alerted.
Is that what it's looking like?
It's looking like that was just gross negligence at this point.
But
and-
what is the benefit?
There is none.
Like, was there a benefit making those 5 people who died that they're all big like that?
No.
Like if it was me, you, and G, would anybody cared?
I mean,
No, but if these 5 people are as big as they are in their country,
yeah.
was
well,
there a
well, that's what I'm
reason
saying.
why
It's
it was
like-
them 5?
Well,
It was the Sicilian mafia.
yeah, like what did they make a deal with God? Yo, bring a tornado down this spot. Like it just happened. It just
I
happened.
don't know. It sounds fishy to me. if you ask me.
Well, listen, that's why they're doing an investigation. I don't know why. All they know is that one day, like just in the middle of the night, people are sideways, and either they had the door up above or down below. And most of the crew lived, captain lived, and those 5 people are down. So it's just weird. It's just weird how it happened. An unsinkable ship sinks.
Either of you guys been on like a cruise boat?
I haven't.
I gone fishing.
That's not the same thing.
No.
No, it's not the same thing. I mean, yeah, you've been on the water.
Oh,
Marcus,
yeah,
you
we've
been on the water?
we've been on the water. Yeah.
No, I never been on a cruise.
I
Oh
never-
yeah, I mean, we've been fishing.
Yeah. I just never been on a cruise like you. Because you got that money.
No, I got that monthly money.
I got that monthly money. So your brother today, he asked me what I was having for lunch, and he was like, yo, I don't understand. Why don't you just bring your food from home? And I was like, no, that's very responsible. I can't do it. I can't reheat food.
My thing is like we have dinner. Whatever my wife makes, she makes extra. And then we'll pack it for lunch and I take it for work.
Can't do it.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't have to spend $10 a day on
No,
lunch.
you're 100%. Financially, it is the smartest thing you can do. I can't do it.
Okay, so we're in agreement here
Yes.
that what you're doing is spending nearly 50, 60, probably more than $11
I'm in the
a
city,
day,
so yeah, more.
right?
Yeah.
You're spending maybe $70 a week.
day.
A week. Yeah, a day.
He's having lobster lunches.
You're spending $70 a week
Yep.
on lunch.
Yep.
You don't think that's a little ridiculous?
I think that's disgusting. I think I should be flogged for that.
So what?
that's
What do you,
$280 a month.
Yep.
You're spending on lunch.
Yep. 100%
And
aware.
you don't care? And
No,
it's
no,
just
I
that you
care.
don't care?
No, I care. But then it's
So
like
if you care, then why don't you do anything about it?
because there's only certain things that I can reheat and eat and enjoy. Like I want to enjoy what I'm eating. A lot of reheated food. And I'm talking about like obviously I'm at work, microwave reheat. I don't have an oven over there or a stove where I could just fry up pasta.
can you imagine that?
Yo, do you know I debated on bringing a double burner electric burners and just start bringing una pareda with
What's
me?
that smell? Marco's making sauce.
Yo, and the whole company knows I cook, so they're all like, yo, why don't you bring it over? I'm like, get the fuck out of here. What do I have, my caterer? So I would love to, dude, there's something about microwaved food, at least the majority of it. I think there's only a couple of things that I can eat microwaved where I could be like, all right, I could eat this and still enjoy it. The rest of it, I can't. I have to like what I'm eating. I have to.
So what do you eat?
So wait, if you have food,
Yeah.
sorry, Frank, I didn't mean to cut you off. You making dinner.
Sure.
You have leftover.
Okay, but now it depends.
Let's just
What's
say
the dinner?
chicken cutlet.
I can do
you already
I can
fried
do
it.
chicken cutlet. Yes, I can do that.
So you can
I can reheat
cutlet.
chicken cutlet. I can't reheat pork. I can't reheat any kind of beef.
What about a sandwich? Cold cuts.
Why would you stick cold cuts in the microwave?
No, meaning why bring a
Oh,
sandwich?
you saying like doesn't have to be
Oh,
a hot
yeah.
food? And
Yeah.
you're talking about sandwich. So I would actually go out there and buy a sandwich. The problem is I don't feel comfortable putting like mayo on a sandwich and then walking out of the house for 45
mayo on a
minutes.
separate thing.
On a separate what? You want to bring
And
the
a
jar with
little-
me?
Yeah.
A little tiny Tupperware.
Nah,
cup.
I can't.
All right. So the question was, you just aggravating me.
Why?
Why are you spending this money?
Well,
Like, all right,
first of all,
Frank, do you like reheating your food? Like, would you reheat your food? I know the situation you're in. You don't buy your lunch, but you're not having Marco problems here. But
right.
like, is there something wrong with reheating your food that you just don't
No,
like?
I guess depending what it is.
Depending what it is.
Look, early on in my years, I brought lunch from home. You know, either Enza helped me make it
Yeah.
or we made a sandwich. I brought stuff from home. But a sandwich was my thing.
The sandwich. So you're cool with eating a sandwich like every day. You're
I
down
enjoy
for it.
sandwich. I mean,
Right.
one day mortadella, one day ham, one
Okay,
day.
that's fine. Let's just say you had hot food the night before. I don't care what it is. Would you bring that with you?
depending what it is.
Depending on what it. So I'm not crazy here.
Like if it's leftover
Yeah, but you
Chinese food, I
never
warm it
do
up.
it.
You know what? There's only a couple of things in Chinese food I would reheat up, like the lo mein and the fried rice. But the other stuff, like the meat, it gets.
I don't like.
Yeah.
I personally, I hate reheated meat.
I agree.
I'll eat it,
Yeah.
but you taste it.
You taste like the rubbery. Like
You
it's
taste
not the same.
change.
But like
You
even
do taste it,
but even
but I
reheated-
almost hate reheated. Like I like refried pasta. but
Okay,
don't put
and
my
I'm not
pasta in
frying
the
pasta at the
microwave.
job.
Why
Because
not?
that'd be
I know.
hilarious.
I'm just making a point.
No, I
Like,
hear you.
I
point. It's-
almost rather reheat the meat than reheat the pasta in the microwave.
And once again, it really depends. I can't do any kind of pork chop. Any kind of pork reheated.
I don't really like pork chop to begin with. I like pork cutlets.
I'm just
I
saying
don't
in
like
general.
the thickness of the pork.
I'm just saying, bring a fucking sandwich.
No, I hear you. I understand that. And then,
He's talking about courses.
okay, so
sandwich.
then you want to hear something else that I don't like doing?
Go buy agache de succo de
Ashbe,
fruta and
ashbe.
agache de mortadella, and that's your week.
Ashbe, do you want to know another reason why I don't like bringing lunch? Because I don't want to bring it. I don't want to carry anything.
Oh,
with
so
me.
that's it.
Fucking
That's
No,
it.
it's not
lazy,
gonna
bro.
say that from the
You want
beginning.
to
No,
spend money
no.
and you're fucking lazy on top of
Okay.
it. You don't want to.
All right. Apparently, I'm talking to
You bring a
Shitty
backpack?
Minky here. I just said I don't like reheated food. Plus, because plus, I don't want to bring anything with me. Holding thing. I feel like I'm holding a fucking purse. I don't like
right.
it.
Marco, do me a favor. Spend
Do me,
$300 a
bro.
month
Do,
and tell me
yeah,
you're
I heard
broke.
that there was thunderstorms outside. Go hold
But
the fucking umbrella.
you go to work with a book bag.
No, I don't.
So when I see with a book bag,
That's
just
because I'm coming here.
so you go to
He
work with
goes-
nothing.
Nothing. I got my
He
headphones
goes
and that's
to
it.
work with the headphones on, like the kid from Something About Mary.
What if you hang a shopping bag off your headphones?
My what?
Put a shopping bag hanging off your.
Yeah, why don't I just put the shopping bag over my head and close it around the throat? What the fuck are you talking about?
Frank and Beans.
Frank and beans.
So since
right.
you work in Manhattan, hold on, G.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you eat? What? Because
There's a couple of spots. Listen, there's two Chinese spots by me that they do totally different things. There's a dumpling place. There's
Bro, I can tell you everything that's around you. 'cause
only
it's a
two
city.
pizzerias by me.
It's anything.
There's
a Chipotle around
Subways
you,
and
too.
Wendy's.
what's your go-to at work?
Honestly, I always like switching between everything. I don't have like a one.
Amiga, next time you complain que nas ordem,
No, but it's-
linhada que dá dar it.
Bro, I can't even get a haircut.
You see? But if you
I
want to
don't get
spend
it, bro.
$260,
He cooks for himself every day, but
But
doesn't
here's your-
feel like he can cook
Ashbet.
something that he can bring to
Hold
work.
on. There's also another aspect here. Also, it's also the same fact that I'm not exactly caring for children and a high mortgage and a high everything. My lifestyle's different
What
than
does that have to do with anything?
it has to do with finances.
What does that have to do with
Meaning
anything?
he could
You
spend the
still
money.
cook for yourself. You still cook for yourself.
I still cook for myself when I'm home. Yeah,
Right. So you tell me you can't make one extra dish.
it's not about making
So for
one
you
extra
to bring
dish
home-
because I make extra all the time. But
Yeah, but you're talking about finances. You're wasting money.
right, because I can, because I'm not. Another thing is not depending on me to feed it.
why are you pointing at me?
That's what I'm saying. I have the extra pizza that I can go get a sandwich. Granted, I don't like spending $8 on a sandwich, but I can do it.
But you just said he can't get a haircut.
That's a different set of problems. I have other bills. I don't have
give me
people that are
Ashton, bro.
depending on me right now.
Giving me Ashato.
Fuck you.
All right, here's something I got for you. I got 5 desserts.
And which one
We're
am I
gonna
going to rank off
rank
you?
We're gonna rank him. We're gonna rank him best to worst.
Okay.
But once you rank them and you put them between 1 and 5, you can't move them. But you don't know what's coming next.
Fuck, but then, wait a minute. Are we all agreeing on the same rank? Because what if
We
my
can
ranking...
all talk about where we would rank them.
Okay. But then I got to remember
Okay.
the rank. All right, go ahead.
Well, I have it on my phone.
Okay,
so I
all
can
right.
tell
Just
you,
take notes.
okay?
Take notes.
All right, first one,
One.
tiramisu.
Is that one?
Where would you rank tiramisu?
I go first.
Go.
Yeah, where would you rank it from 1 to 5? 1 the best.
3.
I think I'm on the same plan because I don't know what the other ones are. That's why I don't want
I don't want to rank
I
high.
don't want to rank it if I don't know what the other ones are.
Watch me get stuck with a fucking croissant or something.
Exactly, number one.
So, would you rank it at a 3 too?
I would. I mean, I just want to know what the other ones are. So
No, I think tiramisu for me 3 is perfect because there's things I like better and there's
Yes.
things I don't like.
but you got to hope that he mentioned those.
He will.
Okay.
We in
I
sync.
agree.
Siamo fratelli.
Avemo lo stesso figato.
I agree with 3. And let me tell you, I started liking tiramisu maybe a few years ago. I
Uh-huh.
wasn't a big fan of tiramisu. up
Well, you
until
haven't
now.
had my
And I'm
wife's.
still not. I still wouldn't pick tiramisu over other desserts, though. I'll do that. But I do like it. If it's at the table, I'll eat it.
Mhm.
All right. Next one. Cannoli.
5. I
That's
don't give a
because there's
shit
ricotta
what
in
you're
it.
looking. You can look
That's
at me and go,
because
okay,
there's
do it the
ricotta
way
in
you
it, isn't
fucking
it?
want, bro.
Is that because the ricotta?
Yes.
Cannoli's number 2.
I wouldn't put it. I
Really? You put that up higher than tiramisu? Okay, cool.
I
you
love
have-
ricotta.
I know you do. That's why I kind of expected it. But for me, it's if I go to a party, if there's a thing and you see the cookie spread, and literally there's cannoli, I will never touch the cannoli.
I would put it at a 4, but I feel like it's not going to work if us 3 are putting in different numbers.
Right.
So put it wherever you want.
So I
in your head
got
then.
3
I'm
and
just gonna
5. Let's go.
keep going. You got 3 and 5. I put it at 4. I like cannoli. I love cannoli, but I love like cannoli cake.
Yeah.
I don't like the cannoli with the shell.
I still
I had to
haven't
pick
had one
cannoli
birthday
cream
cake
anywhere
from
else.
this motherfucker yet. Not one. Every birthday cake this asshole gets is cannoli cake.
Cannoli cake, bro. Panacotta.
Oh, that's a 5 for me.
Yeah, I'm put that at 4.
You put that over cannoli?
I really don't like cannoli.
Spaghetti.
I almost want to ask what the other one is so I can know where to rank
I
it.
know.
He's really fucking me on this, man. 2. Go ahead. And I swear to God, if that last one is like un porpeta, I'm gonna fucking kill
Do
you.
you have 1 yet?
No.
Nobody has 1?
No.
All right. Well,
Well, mine's
Ricotta
going to be, I
cheesecake.
guess my only slot is 4.
Your last slide is floor.
So now this one's my number one. I can't wait.
Ricotta cheesecake.
Oh,
Hey,
God.
get on.
You fucked me.
I hope you
I
vomit
put that at one-
ricotta.
What's up with you? Like, bro, you got to change them up because
What-
four of
what
them
about
have like ricotta
tortufo?
in it. Huh?
What about tortufo?
No,
Tortufo, the
that's
ice cream?
That's a 6.
Says a chocolate coated ice cream.
It's ice
Is there
cream,
with
yeah,
rich
I
frozen
like
center?
that.
I
I'll
actually
take
never
that.
had it.
It's ice cream, dude. That's
My
all
top
it is.
pastry is Schwinger's under zip.
You like that a lot?
Cannoli cream. My God.
Do you guys like cassata cake?
I'm not a fan.
I had it. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah.
It's a Sicilian cake.
Yeah, I know, but it's not. That's the one with the marzipan on it, right? Does that have that
How's
green
that?
marzipan?
There's the green. It has chunks of fruit in it.
I don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't
It's like
like
a soaked. It's like a soaked liquor in there too. I think it's rum.
Yeah, just pretend tomorrow you like it. There's gonna be a lot of that.
I know. Que me viaje.
Just be nice.
What about your cookie? What's your number one cookie? Italian cookie.
Rainbow cookie. I mean, come on. What kind of fucking questions are these?
No, that's a pastry. That's more
No,
like a
that's-
pastry.
you literally call it rainbow cookie. Where the fuck are you getting pastry
You
from?
call it rainbow cookie.
It's more.
Are you serious?
It's more of
Yeah.
a pastry.
I-
To me,
I know
that's
that.
what I understand. We call it rainbow cookie. Relax,
okay.
calm yourself.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm
Would you
talking
like
about,
my
what
beef
kind of-
pork chop? What is that? It's a steak, but we're gonna call it a chop.
It's ice cream.
If that's what you
It
care.
identifies
ice
with
cream.
whatever it wants to be.
The fuck is that? It's it's yes, you're right.
There's nothing crunchy about it. It's a cake.
So you never had a soft cookie?
That's softer.
How soft?
All right,
is
give
it?
me a crunchy cookie.
Never had one of those Milano cookies?
Yeah, the
The
one
Thin
with
Mints?
the filling in the middle.
Whew. That's like
Yeah, it's pretty good.
crack.
I like Stella D'Oro,
Yeah, which one?
but they have so many. I like the
the Ace
Swiss,
cookie.
I think it's called
It's a
the
cookie.
Swiss one. Swiss fudge.
Oh, the Swiss
something.
fudge? Yeah. No, you have
I like
are
the
good.
flat one.
which one?
It's like a little rectangle-ish.
Rectangle.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one where you open up the bag and it's like the mixed cookies in there?
No. It's all sleeved. They're perfect because that's the only size of it. But when you put it in coffee,
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. They're the biscuit ones. Those are the biscuits. Yes.
yeah,
yes,
my God,
that's
when you
the
dip
one.
that in coffee, bro. Phew. See, I'm a big fan of pane latte. I haven't had it in
Whenever-
years.
That's what I'm saying.
But that cookie almost.
But if you notice, when I went to Italy last and we had pane latte, it wasn't really pane latte. They had like the cookie with the latte, but the latte wasn't even cold. It was like that Parmalat milk that they would use. It wasn't even real
No.
milk.
So I'll heat the
Yes.
I'll heat it. I'll add espresso to it.
Yes.
I'll break a bunch of yesterday's bread, semolina, pour it all on top, a little bit of zucchero. Dude,
Mika, that's what Nono does.
he turned me on.
He
to
does that every morning.
Yeah.
He does that every
When I
morning.
lived at home, that was my every morning breakfast before I went to work because he just had a bowl ready for me.
Mm.
Loved it.
I also like the it was like an egg biscuit that they had or something.
That
Uh-huh.
sounds
Stella
familiar
D'Oro.
for some
It was like a
reason.
soft biscuit, and I think it was made with egg.
I think I know what he's talking about. I don't remember exactly, but it does sound familiar. I don't know, man. It's like
You can't see that.
no, all I see is like a shine of light.
Nice. Hello,
It
Jesus.
Says, it says Roman egg biscuit cookie. It says coffee treats.
Coffee
I'm
treats.
telling you, look it up. It's really good. I love them.
Oh yeah, that's the ones I like.
I love those.
Oh,
Intamins.
They changed. They're not the same.
Entenmann's.
Intamins don't.
We get Intamins. No, it's changed. I don't know what they changed, but they don't taste the same anymore.
You know what I used to do, and my grandmother couldn't figure out which one of my brothers were doing it, and when she figured it out, the balloon that I got.
One.
So it's the chocolate cake, and the top is like a fudge.
Yes.
But for some reason, I like my stuff cold, so my grandma put
Yeah.
it in the fridge too.
Yeah.
But the chocolate peel's so nice.
Yeah. Like a fucking layer.
Bro,
Yeah.
I peeled the chocolate, the entire fucking cake, and I ate that like the fattest kid in the
So
world.
you ate frosting.
So, dude, I don't know what it was great.
It was frosting.
But my grandmother couldn't figure out who it was. And then every morning they'll eat the sponge I left. But one time she called me, bro, that I caught.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
We
my
always had
God.
a Entenmann's cake of some sort ready for when somebody came over
Yes.
or when somebody was coming. I
I never did.
leaned off of it. I'm not even a big fan of any kind of Entenmann's product.
They're no good anymore.
It just doesn't taste good to me. Like
Yeah.
so many better options.
Well, it depends. They had that banana crumb one where it was like the fudge like sprinkled on top with like banana crumb on top. That one that was like crack for us. But then I got it recently, and I'm like, this tastes like shit.
I still like their chocolate donuts, but it has to be refrigerated.
Oh yeah.
So when you
yeah,
bite
yeah.
the
I don't like
chocolate, the
that,
chocolate's breaking up.
Yeah, but then it's weird. You get a weird texture because that donut tastes like nashpunya. You know what I mean? Like a dry.
No, it doesn't.
It's Schkivel. It's Schkivel.
I don't know.
You know which one of our boys, or I should say my boy, will choose Entenmann cake over any pastry in the world?
God, if you say his name, I'm gonna fucking scream, bro, because I don't know what he does.
Like I could put a fresh cannoli cake, a fresh zeppoli, whatever. But if I put the Entenmann's in the middle, that's gone.
Say it.
Anybody? Any guess?
Say, I got it.
Oh, you got it?
I know
we
who
all
it
know,
is.
we all know him.
Yeah. Yeah, we all
Do I know
know
him
him.
personally?
Yeah, you kind of do, yeah.
Here's the weirdest
I don't
thing
wanna
about
say
him, and I hope
names.
you watch this, you rudo. He's the most Italian, old school, raised guy. Sometimes he's worse than me.
Yeah.
And then the two biggest things he loves that for him, it's mac and cheese
Yeah.
and Entenmann's cake.
I'll never understand it. And he'll look at you and be like, I don't get it either, but I love it. And he'll always
Sal?
pick it.
Is it Sal?
Close, though, because they kind of look alike.
Don't say that.
I
You
know,
just started a fight.
I'm sorry. Sal, forgive me, bro, please.
I'm not. It's not sound worried about.
Angela?
Are you working about Angela?
Angel's
Is it
gonna come
Angelo?
in tomorrow looking just like him because that's how he
It was
is.
Angelo.
yeah.
Thank you. Man.
Anyway, boys,
On that note,
buonanotte a tutti. Tomorrow we have a long day. G, when are you coming, bro?
never.
No, but the thing is this.
Yeah.
Before we close this out, he was supposed to come.
He was supposed
So
to.
he
come.
threw me the tease.
Yeah, that's
I know
right.
I
It
never
doesn't
come
matter
get it.
because by the time this is, it's already over.
Doesn't matter. Everyone wants to remember the hurt you gave us, you fuck.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Buonanotte, mangia pasciasciutto.
Macie paciaciut.